Well, welcome to another edition of Gale Force Winds, the Force-8 Hometown edition, right here on board HMCS Montreal in beautiful Souda Bay in the Mediterranean Ocean.
It's starting to get up to a Force-8 there, I think. Hopefully
Starting to
the
get-
audio is still good.
Well, that's great. So we're certainly happy to be in conversation with the crew on board. So Mark, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Mark Sceviour. I'm the Padre here on the ship, so I'm the deployed chaplain with this ship, and I've been with them now off and on since last August.
So Mark, where did you grow up and what were some of the big influences in your life?
So I grew up in Newfoundland. I was born in Corner Brook. I lived all my childhood in Clarenville, Newfoundland. My influence, I had two very, very strong parents. I definitely credit them for a lot of who I am today. And the other part of me, I would say that I'm probably where I am today a lot due to my Air Cadet influence.
Okay, let's get into mom and dad first. Tell us a little bit about mom and dad.
Yeah, so my mom was a teacher for 35 years, very proud of her profession and was very professional. And my dad was a jack of all trades and refused to, have someone do something for him that he couldn't do for himself. So I think I've taken bits of both of them and tried to make a really good life for myself.
And so then you went into Air Cadets right there in Clarenville?
I did, yeah. I did from 12 to 18. I did everything the Air Cadet program offered and got sent all over the country and even to the United Kingdom, and loved it. Loved every minute of it.
You know, Mark, we get into a lot of conversations with people that are serving now that have come through the cadet program, and it's remarkable at the foundation that gave them and the confidence it gave them in the military. Tell me a little bit about the experience for you.
Yeah, so I can definitely credit that my public speaking skills and my instructional skills were way ahead of, say, my other colleagues when I joined the military, and even when I became a teacher. And all that was due to the cadet program, asking you at 12 or 13 years old to get in front of a classroom and teach, or get in front of a group of people that are the same age as you and start, convincing them of your ideas and lead them through a task to get something accomplished.
That's fantastic, Mark. So tell us a little bit now what you do on board the ship.
Excellent. Yeah, a lot of people would like to know that. I bet a lot of the crew would like to know exactly what I do. I'm assigned to the ship. CJOC says that the ship has a say with the chaplain when they do a deployment like this. So I would say the best thing for anyone who doesn't know military life is I'm kind of like a high school guidance counselor. Okay. And if you imagine a ship is kind of like a deployed high school. We live here, we work here, we have friends here, we have relationships here, and I'm kind of helping people massage all that and keep working. A lot of us, including myself, who left family at home, and so that comes with his own stresses, and how do we manage that? And also the real key feature for this chaplain is that all the chaplains back in Halifax support our families back home. So if a loved one back home is struggling, I'll reach back to a chaplain in Halifax, say, can you reach out to this loved one? And we offer support while on the ship, and also what we say rear party support. So a lot of my job is hearing people's stories and helping them unpack those stories and how to move forward with them. Yeah,
you're so true, Mark, because good work being done on this ship. I mean, Canada really making a commitment by sending this ship halfway around the world to help and global issues and the like. But life still goes on back home, right? Still things happen back home, and you're there to help those sailors along the way.
Absolutely. I mean, every one of these sailors who has family back home, either mom and dad or a loved one, or especially those who have children back home, realize that we're doing the business, right? I'm getting paid to do the job I love. I'm getting paid to do a job that I think I do really well. I know the crew on this ship do an amazing job. We have the most professional sailors on the planet, without a doubt, hand on heart. Our junior NCMs are the most highly educated, highly trained that you'll find in any Navy in the world. And they come out here and they do the job day in, day out. And what we don't realize till we get here is actually a lot of the reasons why we can do our job is because of support back home. And I had a great friend of mine that every time someone thanked him for his service, he said, don't thank me, thank my loved ones.
Right.
Wow. I lived a great life.
What a great explanation of that, Mark. What brought you to your cadet organization brought you into it, but what intrigued you about the Navy, or did you just get assigned to a ship?
Very interesting. So I've had a long way around to get here. So I was Air Force hard trade in actually a different Air Force, in the Royal Air Force for a bit. I was a teacher for a number of years. I did a couple other jobs, and then I became a priest. And at one point during my priest training, someone said to me, you should think about joining the military, or rejoin the military. And I thought, I don't know. I went home and spoke to my wife, and as we all know, those of us who have significant loved ones, partners who know us better than ourselves, my wife said, basically, she said, you're an idiot. You should do that because the two things you love is the church and the military. Why don't you combine the two? And I haven't looked back since. I was posted to CFB Halifax and then got attached to the fleet, and I got a bug for sailing. I absolutely love sailing.
Wow.
Yeah, I think every day at sea for me is a fantastic day. So I've been sailing now, I'm about to get my anchor at some point in this sail, and I've only been sailing since last May, and I'll have about 200 days in this last year, and I've loved every minute of it.
Wow, Mark,
Mark,
your thoughts?
did you go through Queen's College by chance?
I did not go to
No?
Queen's College. No, I went through the Diocese of Huron, so I went through basically University of Western Ontario Huron College.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listening
My mother
to...
did, though.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she did. She's a
Really?
deacon
No.
in the church.
Yeah, well, I've done some videos for them over the years,
Okay,
but
yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Mark. I've said this to all of the sailors, but obviously what you're doing and how you articulated it is incredibly important. And I think what Alan and I are doing with Gale Force Winds and bringing the hometowners to you as the family, we feel this is really important.
Absolutely.
So we can give a little tiny snippet. We're not allowed to videotape the entire Souda Bay, but given this little snippet, I think, I just thank you
No, I
for
really
what you're
appreciate
doing
it.
on board.
No, and these folks love this, and like I said, I think what people don't realize is that in the Navy, there's a sacrifice that people don't see. Right, when you're hard Army, you've gone to a front and you've gone to a hard front line, and you can say you did things. The sacrifice these people make is they spend 6 to 8 months a year not being around their loved ones, and that's a sacrifice that you can't really pin a medal on, or put a pin on a map and say that's exactly where I made a contribution. But that's what they're doing. They're going where Canada says to go, and they leave behind their loved ones, and they just go and do it. And I couldn't be prouder. Like I said, these will be some of the most proudest moments of my life to serve with these people.
Mark, anything you'd like to say to the folks back home?
Yeah, to my mom and dad, I hope you get to see this. I'm really, really glad I'm here, and I think a big part of why I'm here today and I can do the job I can do is because of you. And to my wife, Heather, and my son, Bennett, I can't wait to come home and see you, and I can't wait to go on holiday and squeeze the living dickens out of you. So thank you for letting me be here and doing my job.
Well, another wonderful edition of Gale Force Winds, the Force 8 Hometown Edition, right here on board the HMCS Montreal. And what a great conversation it was, Mark. Thanks very much for what you're doing. I'd like to leave the podcast with my own piece of advice. And quite frankly, the world needs more HMCS Montreal, and Canada definitely needs more Mark Sceviour. Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate it. Thanks, you guys. God bless. Thanks, guys.
Well done, mate.
Thanks.